decode, source, transaction, preparation, and dynamic. These 5 keys refer to every type of public speaking experience we may have, no matter what the time of speech is, no matter type of speech is, no matter what the occasion for the speech is, a long speech, a short speech, a prepared speech, an impromptu speech. No matter, these 5 things will apply. Whoever is listening, unless we're speaking to ourselves, but assuming at least one or multiple people are listening in a public speaking scenario, and of course, it's not public if we're by ourselves. So we have a few audience members, and they are decoding. They're processing symbols to understand messages. That's what decode means. Knowing that unlocks some gems of wisdom right there, because we have to think, how can I make that listening and decoding experience, hello, Theo, that listening and decoding experience as successful as possible for my listeners. So the more that you're thinking about your listeners as a speaker and that you have a gift to give them, that takes away some of the nerves too. Then you're not focused on yourself and how am I seeing, but you're like, I have a gift, I have a gem to give my listeners. And they are precious, they are worth it. And so think about your hand gestures as helping them to understand. Your eye contact, that takes effort and thought, especially when it's virtual. Your eye contact is a way to show respect and love and presence to your listeners. So think about them decoding, even when it's virtual. Think about them on the other side of the camera and their experiences. Just take a moment. Think, what has their day been like? What kinds of challenges did they have? Did they have to go to work? Because I know some of you students work as well. And then the next thing, source. So the source is the party expressing the idea. So in public speaking, the source that we're mainly referring to is the public speaker. And so that kind of speaks for itself. But think of yourself as a source of life wisdom. Remember what I said before, you have things to give that only you can give. You are a source of wisdom, of experience, of encouragement. The third concept to write down and think about is transaction. Now, when you can combine a source who is giving an idea and then listeners who are decoding that idea, what you have going on is a transaction. And this is communication in which all parties are continuously sending and receiving messages. You might not think that the listeners are sending messages, that the decoders are sending messages, but they are. Now, virtual, if you're watching a recorded speech, then it's asynchronous, it's not in real time, and sadly, you won't be able to, in real time, receive that listener feedback, which is one reason why we are sometimes going to, through virtual mediated communication technology, we're going to give our speeches that way, whether it be Zoom or Blackboard Collaborate. We'll explain which vehicle we're going to use. We'll see what fits our group best. But sometimes that's good because you can still see the eye contact. And that's one reason why when you're listening to a speech, you're going to want to make sure your video camera's on. You can mute yourself if you want just while the speech is going on. You're going to want to have your video camera on so that the source, the speaker, can receive how you're decoding it through your eye contact, through maybe a puzzled expression, a nod, that kind of thing. It's a transaction. Preparation. Now this I cannot emphasize enough, and you're going to see a video clip that's in today's lesson about preparation. Preparation is the key. Caroline Goiter explains that when you're seeing a speech, that's the tip of the iceberg. Everything that's below the sea, all of that deep, deep, thick ice, the kind of ice that destroyed the Titanic, that's the preparation. Preparation is key. When we see somebody giving a stand-up comedy routine, when we see a really great movie, there is tons of preparation that we have not seen that has gone into that. And then finally, the fifth concept on this page is dynamic. That public speaking is dynamic. It is not static and stable. It is dynamic. There's ups and downs. There's give and take. It is an ever changing, transforming process. It's live.